Do you know that some words do not mean the same thing when you enter into a relationship? Hey, in case you don't know me, my name's Jason, and that's what I want to talk to about today. As I was out this morning doing a low shed and just scrolling through, listening to different videos, and it's funny because the algorithm here for TikTok is about relationships, which is very interesting compared to other countries. So each country actually has a different algorithm, meaning different types of videos that's fed to the people. So in here for South Africa, age range of about 28 to 55, it's all relationship stuff. And when I started watching it and just listening to it, I was really understanding, like, trying to figure out, not understanding, but trying to figure out why is it so many people are having a hard time to just find a good person. Like, what is it? Is it people's expectations are wrong, or is it just a lot of fuck boys and fuck girls walking around here that just, out here just ruthless? And the truth is, a lot of men and women, from what I'm seeing, they want the same thing. However, they're taking definitions of defining themselves as a single person and trying to apply that same definition into a marriage or a relationship. And a marriage and a relationship is nothing like a single life. You're abandoning your independence to become codependent with someone. And people have to realize this: a marriage is codependency at its core. Literally, the husband and wife, or whatever that relationship looks like, if it's man and man, women and women, it's still the same thing. It has nothing to do with sexuality or whatever your gender is. A marriage is a codependency of two people coming together. And the beautiful thing about it is, if you mail that codependency at a good way to where it becomes symbiotic, you one become two, which means you're way more powerful than how you are as an individual person. Whether it's making money, whether it's getting healthy, like everything you can do as a couple becomes more powerful because you became a symbiotic relationship. Or if you follow what's his name? Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, where he talks about the mastermind and how the strongest mastermind that ever is made is between a husband and wife, or a married couple in today's terms. And so that's the beautiful thing about it, is that it can become a symbiotic relationship. And just to give you an example of how it can become symbiotic, when you two become melded one and you form this third consciousness, which is the marriage, and as it expands and grows, there's non-verbal communication that is done all the time. Even if you're not in the same location, you're still able to communicate and feel each other. And just give an example for when Cece was still here, when she was still living, there'll be times I'm out in Colombia just walking, doing some stuff, doing exercise, or just out with some friends. Then I'll just have this thought that come through like, hey, Cece might want this. And then I would get it and go home, and she'd be like, man, I was thinking about that. And I'd be like, well, you told me to get it, so that's why I got it. And give you a prime example of it, it was a day I was walking in El Centro, or CBD, or downtown, depending on what country you're in Medellin. And I just saw a lady who had some different headbands, the little things that wrap around, because she had her dreadlocks. And once I saw it, I just saw her face wearing these headbands. And so I bought like 10 of them, I think. And then she came, when I got home and gave them to her, she was like, man, I was just looking online for some different headbands, some stuff that I could order just to do something different with my hair. And that's what that was. That's because we became a symbiotic relationship. And see, the truth is, most people don't understand, most relationships don't spend that much time together. Because if you think about it, you have to get ready for work, you drive to work, which means you're in traffic, and then you're at work for 8 to 10 hours, then you're driving home in traffic again, then you may go out to eat, or you may cook, depending on how your relationship looked, and then you're going to bed. So you're probably spending maybe 3 to 4 hours together in a 24-hour period. Of 20 hours of you just gave to someone else. And only of that 4 hours, maybe about 30 to 45 minutes was really put into building the relationship. And so what you want to start doing is, or let me just rephrase it this way. So what you want to start doing to build the relationship is you have to start taking direction. Now, most people, when they hear the word direction, from what I was seeing on the videos, they're misusing it from a single perspective. A lot of the guys was like, well, she needs to follow my direction. That's not what that mean, homie. And most women, well, I'm not following nobody's direction. That's not what that mean, homie. You have to follow the direction of the relationship. And what that mean is what, excuse me. And so what that means for the direction of the relationship, and this, let me break it down, because I wrote this down yesterday when I had this download. Each party is given a different perspective of the given situation. So this is where direction comes in. The key is to respectively analyze both perspectives and create an ideal, IDEAL, perspective to guide the relationship towards a bigger future. That's what direction means. When you're in a relationship, you have to follow direction. But that doesn't mean gender specific. A man does not have the right to just give the direction. The woman does not have the right to just give the direction. The relationship gives the direction, because you're not thinking from a selfish perspective. You're thinking from a relationship perspective. What is going to get both of us to a better goal? Which means one person may give up on something and the other person may gain more. But what is going to give the relationship to a bigger goal? And here's a prime example of it. So with the direction, there was a time when Chantel and I, we took the direction of me to stop working before I took her out of work. So most people will be like, wait, you was working a government job, making great money, and you wanted to stop working. And even though she was making less money than you at the time, and she supported all the bills. Most people be like, no, that's crazy. But we were looking at the bigger perspective of the relationship. If I was to get off, get my full pension from the military, the things that it would free up, and also the tax benefits and other benefits that would come from that. That was going to be bigger for the relationship than me continue working a government job, making great money, and my health was drastically declining. So we took the direction of her being the breadwinner and taking care of the family while I was doing what I needed to do with the government as far as my military pension. So then after that, we took a totally separate direction. We both talked and we both realized we were not living our American dream. We had a beautiful house. We had great cars. We had a sauna. We had a jacuzzi that we would use every night. All of these things were perfect on the outside, but we were not happy on the inside. So we said, hey, let's analyze what we're doing. And we came up with an ideal perspective of, let's sell everything we physically own in this world. And let's go live and travel abroad, traveling from country to country. And then we just keep, if we don't like a place, we move and go to another place. If we're tired of a place, we go to a different place. That was the direction we took. And look at my life now. I'm living in South Africa. Yes, CC passed away and everything. However, I'm still living my life. I have a new direction for my life. But me and her, we was able to enjoy the last 10 years of marriage together, almost 24/7. And there was no outside interaction. How many people in a relationship would love to be able to spend all their time with their partner and actually have fun with it? Like, not spending your time in arguing. I mean, spending your time in having fun, like playing board games, playing Uno, playing, getting out of the rat race. Like, all of these things were fun for us. And it's because we were willing to sacrifice our personal needs and personal image and start saying we need to take the direction of the relationship. We started having weekly meetings, for family meetings, to start getting our budget in line. That's how we started getting more financially responsible. That's how we started understanding about how to get into different investment ideas. Like, all of these are different things that help a relationship lead to success. And remember, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So if you having a great relationship, a happy relationship, a successful relationship is what you want, you have to progressively do it. You have to start taking direction from the relationship and stop putting yourself first. It's not about you anymore. That is why most marriages and most relationships are not making it. Everybody want to make it about the individual. Everybody want to keep focusing on gender roles instead of realizing gender